Hi, welcome. Hope Zvara here, and I'm going to take you through my personal practice today, so enjoy. Let's begin in a seated position, cross-legged Sukhasana. Feel free to be sitting on a prop if necessary. Relax your hips open, soften your shoulders. Bringing your hands to your knees, inhale, rock to the right. Turn your torso down to the floor and come up and over to the left. We'll also pay attention to turning your torso as you circle the lower vertebrae. Rocking slightly back behind neutral. Relax the head and really try to be playful with your spine here. And then coming up and reversing the opposite way. Again, diving your shoulders, soft on your head. Really trying to stretch each side of the spine. And then coming back up to center, bringing the bottoms of the feet together, Baddha Konasana, and just honoring the openness of your hips. The tighter the hips, the further forward your heels. Inhale, sitting tall, and exhale, just allowing yourself to bow forward. Using your hands, roll your thighs open just a little bit more, keeping the spine long, not to fold in the mid-back. And then rising back up again, drawing the knees together, come into a tabletop position. And let's move through a few rounds of cat-cow. Bending your elbows, drop the belly, pull your heart forward, gently look up under the eyelids. Exhale, draw your chin in, round your spine, and lean towards your heels. Inhale, bend your elbows, so you're going to allow more of your spine to come into the arc. Open your sit bones. Exhale, draw it back. Really feel the pelvic floor, pull the tailbone forward. Full breath, pull back on the hands, healthy traction. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale back into a tabletop position. Extend your right leg back. Roll the toes under, keeping the hips square, core strong. Press back through the heel for a nice calf stretch. Pressing firmly into the hands, deep pelvic floor contraction. Lift the opposite knee. Hold and breathe. Lower that leg down and switch sides. Extend the opposite leg back, square the hip down. Try not to default into those little loopholes where we're tight, we get pulled to. And then lift the opposite knee, really being mindful of the pelvic floor, so constantly that deep engaging. No rounding, no saggy head. Now slide the leg back, lift through the hips, downward facing dog. Not to force the legs straight, but really elongate the spine. And work with bent knees as you anchor the heels, lift your toes, and pay attention to the movement or how your feet and ankles set themselves up. So keeping my knees bent, I'm going to walk my dog, lift up through the rib cage. Twisting dog, turn your feet to one side, keeping your upper body long, try not to come forward. Stretch the side ribs, and then opposite side. Just going to do this a few times. Really making an effort to feel in your body, and most importantly, breathe in your body. Back into downward dog, spread the fingertips, high to the balls of the feet, wave yourself forward into plank. Inhale, roll onto your left hand, Vashisthasana side plank. Press into all fingers, lift your hip. Feel free to take the top foot to the floor, take a knee. Now step the top foot back, drop your top arm, not to hurt the shoulder. And reach out through your lower leg and your top arm. Turn the top arm inward towards your head. And now slowly roll back into plank. Lift through your core, float into down dog. Until shoulders are not forcing. Walk your dog again, honoring the length of your spine. Now with your knees bent, lift your toes, lift your ribs, and press your heels towards the floor. Spring and roll yourself out into plank. Roll to the opposite side, Vashisthasana. Fold to the bottom elbow, turns towards the floor. Towards the middle finger. Top arm drops, rolls as you open, firm top foot. Place the head where it's most comfortable. Exhale back into plank. Inhale, knees come down, exhale, Bhaktasana. Roll yourself up, and now roll the toes under and come back to a nice little foot stretch. If this is too tender for you, just start in a kneeling position and work your way back slowly. Breathe here. Interlace the fingers, turn out through the hands, drop your shoulders, and stretch open your tightly wound fists. Without lifting the rib cage, inhale, breathe into your side body. Really drop the shoulders, try not to protrude the front lungs. Stretch open the hands as much as you can. And then exhale, drop your hands into Anjali Mudra prayer. Press your palms, lift your knees, tiptoe balance. Keeping the pelvic floor engaged, so anal sphincter, perineum, urethra. Drop your knees back down, come into a tabletop position. From tabletop, let's move into Dragonfly. Lacing your left arm to the right and your right arm to the left. Walk your fingertips, turn your palms up. Now lean forward over your crossed arms. You may need a cushion for your head so your neck feels comfortable. Now focus on breathing into the space between the ribs of the back body as you soften your body weight down. If this is too much, feel free to go back to something like a thread the needle. Now remember which arm is in front. Keep them crossed. Bring yourself up and come into Garudasana, eagle arms. So for me, I have my left arm on top, which means you probably have your right arm on top. Keep the arms spindling like a barber pole and lift your fingertips up as you drop your shoulders down. Now either stay with your toes rolled under or nice core stability. See if you can come into that tiptoe balance again. Keep spreading the upper back as you keep the front chest wide as well. Supportive middle. Inhale, open the arms to T and drop your arms down. Nice, come back to tabletop. So opposite arm will be in front. So right arm to left, left arm to right. Walk the fingertips, palms turn up, lean forward over your crossed arms. So again, if your head is hovering somewhere in space, grab a support. Making an effort that your breath does not go dormant here, and really try to wiggle or nestle your shoulders into a nice, rich stretch. Now slowly, if you can, come up. If not, remember which arm is on top. Wrap into eagle. Stay with your toes rolling under, or slowly lift your knees back into Prapadasana. Breathe. Calm eyes. Mindful spirit. So thankful for the day today. Inhale, slowly open your arms, feel your body. Lower your arms down, drop back to your knees again, back into tabletop. Inhale, cow's pose. Exhale, down dog. And again, if you're walking your dog, pay attention to your ankles, attention to your feet and how they fall, how the knees rotate. Keep everything facing forward. High to the balls of the feet, wave yourself forward into plank. Push forward with your toes, drop to the knees if necessary, elbows tight all the way to the floor. As you come to the floor, anchor your legs as parallel as possible, root your pubis bone, inhale. Exhale, keeping your elbows pulled in, lift your belly and roll yourself off the mat, drop your shoulders, spread your hands. Inhale at the top. Feel your lungs open, no lower back pain. Bhujangasana. Turn your head to the left. Chin rolls to the chest. Look to the right without leaning the head. Draw back on the opposite shoulder. Back to center, roll it down. Inhale, root your pubis bone. Exhale, pick up your belly. Chest and arms, shoulders fall forward as you roll up to stack. Inhale, elbows in, pull back on the hands. Roll it down, exhale. Hands shoot behind, palms face in, roll the shoulders open, not to dive them forward. Stay anchored through the legs and anchored through your pubis bone. Inhale, breathe into your back lungs. Exhale, pick yourself up. Trying to stay true to each side of the body. Do not let the legs roll. Slowly lift your legs, keeping them absolutely parallel. Either pointing feet, pull back on the toes, or flexed feet reach through your heels. Bend your knees, grab your ankles. Do not grab the tops of the feet. You want to make sure the stretch is coming through the quad and hip flexor, that you're not over pulling on the top of the foot to compensate. Deep breath in. Stay down with your knees. Lift your chest. Now you can change the arm position to change the stretch on your shoulders, but stay at your ankle or grab a strap. Down slow, exhale, head to one side. Head comes back to center, hands under the shoulders, curl your toes under, let's lift modified. Lift your belly, pelvic core strong, pull your elbows in. Exhale, lift through your core, downward facing dog. Let's go back to that twisted dog, turn your feet, sink your hips. Full breath. And then exhale, wave into plank. Inhale, roll to your left palm, Vashisthasana. Step the top foot back, arm drops, wave open. If not, stay right in Vashisthasana. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale, traditional Vashisthasana. Top foot steps, top arm drops. Really important to drop that top arm so we honor the shoulders. And then exhale, coming back down. Drop to your knees. Bhaktasana. Exhale, roll up and come to a kneeling position. As you come to a kneeling position, let's move into a little modified camel pose. Fist to sacrum, really important, neutral pelvis. Keeping the pelvis in a neutral position, gently let the hips sway forward, draw your elbows in, lift through your heart as you press the sacrum down. And then coming up back slowly, hands to prayer, curl the toes under, back into tiptoe balance. Engage the legs, engage the pelvic floor, lift 1 inch up off the heels. Really feel the sit bones pull together because of the pelvic floor, not because of the glute muscles. Drop your hips down, drop your knees, come to a tabletop and step your left foot forward. Bringing yourself up, level your hips, it'll better serve you. Keeping the back knee just slightly behind the hip, watching not to let your pelvis dip forward or hip kick up. Come down into a deep lunge, press firmly into the front foot, not to ride just the ball of the foot. Inhale, arms only lift off your hips if you can keep them in that neutral position. So feeling the charge of the front hamstring and the stretch through the hip flexor. Arms rotate in, broaden your back and breathe. Take hold now of your left wrist and just draw even more length. Press down through the back big toe. Exhale, hands come to prayer. Just step and switch. This is my tougher side, so bear with me. Level. Keep the back leg behind you for the time being. Press down through the big toe. Honor the true stretch. Just because your body goes there doesn't mean it belongs there. And extending maybe just the arm of the back leg. I'm having this intention, of really working neutral here and keeping my front hip bones from dipping forward. And if I choose to, grab hold of the wrist of the back leg, dropping the shoulders for a little bit more intentional stretch, almost like I'm trying to untuck my shirt on my left side, or what would be your left side. And then slowly coming back up. Tabletop, inhale, cow's pose. Exhale, cat. Inhale, table. Curl the toes under, engage your legs together, pelvic floor strong, lift the knees 1 inch up off the floor, hold and breathe. No hunching. Keep it in the core. Extend your left leg back, hip is squared down. Bring it in. Extend your right leg back, hold. Bring it in, exhale, down dog. Slowly drop to the knees and grab your strap. Loop your strap so it's a hole big enough for your feet to fit in. Once that's big enough, you can either loop your feet now or once you come onto your belly. Grab the tail end of the strap, come down onto your belly and chest. Grab hold of the strap. Flex your feet. We'll move into a variation of bow pose, opening the whole front line of the body. Relax your shoulders if you are more kyphotic. This is going to be a challenging variation, so just honor yourself and be patient. Eye line drops to the floor, so I'll be face down. Walk your hands as far back behind the head as you can. We're not pulling forward. The strap is pulling the arms back. Here we go. Deep breath in, pull your elbows in, drop your shoulders. It's a tricep stretch. Use your feet to lift your chest. Looks like bow pose, or what some people call wheel. Now think about dropping into the underarm as you press your feet back and your arms pull back behind. Breathe. Root your pubis bone. And down slow. Deep breath. then coming back to center, we'll do that same thing again, but make sure you change your hand hold. If you were holding right hand first, now hold left hand first. Turn the elbows in, head is down to start. Use your feet flexed. Bring yourself up, inhale, exhale. And then slowly down, head the opposite way, breathe calmly. Last one, I like to work in threes. Bring your hands back behind, last one. Again, pubis bone stays rooted, there should be no lower back pain. Turning the elbows in, we're really honoring a much more true rotation in that shoulder socket, which we can all use a little honoring in that rotator. Deep breath in. Exhale. Imagine being in a balloon. Exhale, lower down slowly. Nice job. Lift your head, roll onto your back. And now take your strap. You may need to open it a little bit so that it comes over your thighs. Tighten it enough so the legs do not go wider than your hips, which is about sit bones distance. Feeling good pressure out. If you looped your strap the right way, it should not slide out. Neutraling the pelvis, keep a nice long back body. Anchor through the entire foot. Feel the entire foot on the mat. If you're in shoes all day, your feet are probably very desensitized and probably very minimal proprioceptor reaction with the brain. So think about your feet here. Engage the pelvic floor, so feel that initiate. Now press into your feet, float your hips up, push out on the strap for even more of a stretch. The knees should not pop open though when your legs are readily aligned. Now roll the shoulders in, chin to chest. Do not pull your knuckles towards your heels. You're going to release or minimize the curve in the neck, and you're going to really end up hurting that cervical spine. If necessary, be on a blanket. Tip your tailbone towards the point behind the knees. Do not squeeze your glutes. You're going to end up turning off your front core. Press down through the arms, though, to really open up the ribs even more. So focus on breathing laterally here. Bridge. Setu Bandhasana. Feels so good to breathe here. Feel my lungs and all the muscles between the ribs open, our intercostal muscles. Keeping a true stretch through the front line of the body. You may feel this stretch along the knees. Press firmly into the feet. Lift your heels, release your shoulders, roll it down. Slide your legs out of the strap to place both of your feet in the strap. Make the loop long enough or wide enough that your hands can comfortably grab hold. Flex your feet without letting them curl. Neutral your pelvis. And just create a nice stretch here for the hamstrings. Pelvic floor is strong. Keeping neutral pelvis, release the left foot. Plant it down and do the same foot. Being able to grab each side of that loop. Now roll the ankle to stretch the outside of the ankle line. Keeping neutral spine. Relax your shoulders. Now you may need head support. And then back to center. Flex into the foot even more. And then switch. We're in shoes all day. Never underestimate the value of footwork. Neutral pelvis, don't get slappy. And now externally stretch that outer ankle. You can play with the toes to change the stretch to the top of the foot. Deep breath. So I'm pulling down with the inside strap. more than the outside. And then back into a hamstring stretch. Turn the foot directly to face you. And then release. Bringing the feet back underneath the sit bones. Neutral your pelvis. Broaden your upper back. Pelvic floor engages. Now slowly lift one leg at a time to a tabletop. Relax the shoulders. Important if you are going to do core work on your back to keep neutral pelvis. We're just going to do a little micro boat here. And now slowly arms reach out, hold here. I'm not pressing my low back into the floor. I'm not lifting with my chest muscles. Slowly lower the head down, lower the arms, drop your left foot, cross your right ankle, rotate the thigh externally, keep your hips neutral. Bring the bottom leg up, clasp under the thigh or grab your strap, flex your feet, possibly grab for the shin. Now again, keeping neutral pelvis, I'm actually trying to keep my lower back from going into the floor. That neutral pelvis is actually turning up the stretch quite a bit on what would be your right side. Feeling my hips even, right side to left side, deep breathing. Slowly release. Again, neutral pelvis, cross the ankle, roll the thigh externally just to assist those attachments. Bringing the leg up, grab for the strap, the calf, or sorry, the hamstring or the shin. If your back drops into the floor, re-neutral it. Feel your sit bones freeing themselves and notice the sensations and how they differ. The lower shin stays right in front of the hamstring. Breathe. It's almost like I'm tipping the bottom of my pelvis down to the floor. If necessary, again, grab a support if the head and shoulders are shrugging. You may even need a bolster. Deep breath. Stay mentally tuned in. And then slowly release. Nice job. All right, now slowly bring the knees into the chest. Rock yourself into standing forward bend. If you need to, bend your knees. Get a good look at your feet. Spread them out, even them out, and lean forward gently. Step your feet all the way together without collapsing the inner ankles or arches. Pelvic floor engages, bend your knees, keep your pelvic floor drawing up and in. Bend your elbows, shoot them up and back, chair pose. Let's interlace the fingers and get some hand work again. Feeling the deep belly contract is what's going to make you feel like your lower back is spreading open. If this is too much on your shoulders, go cactus or prayer. Inhale, standing tall, hands come behind, step your feet open slightly, soft bent knees, standing camel. Slowly back up, bend your knees, drop forward, chest expander. Feel free, grab your strap, especially if your arms are stuck on your sacrum. Fully connect your belly and your thighs. You may need to bend your knees. It's almost like bending your heel a little bit. Arms release, drop all the way to the floor. Back into bound angle. Exhale gently forward. Rolling back up, draw the knees together. Now feel free to grab blocks and place them behind your back. If not, fingertips towards the hips. Spread your hands wide, bend your elbows please. Draw your shoulders in, lift your heart. Elbows are the last things to lengthen. If you're on blocks, it may alleviate some wrist tenderness. Firmly plant your feet, pelvic floor is strong, lifting up, turning the elbows in, lift your heart, chin is on the chest, or head is dropping back. You could very much stay seated and just lengthen through the heart. Slowly lower down and into shooting star. Pull your heels further forward. Lengthen as you lower. Reach your arms to lengthen your lower back. Draw yourself up slowly, lay onto your back. Draw your arms overhead, interlace your fingers again, turn the palms out. Really feel the length through your lower lumbar. Notice which side is tighter. Slide your arms open to T, palms face up. Neutral pelvis, pelvic floor engages, float your legs to tabletop, flex the feet for a little tick-tock. When you're ready, pelvic floor engages. Inhaling, tipping halfway. Do not let the legs open. Exhale, engage through the natural waistline and your pelvic floor as you come to center. Inhaling, shoulders do not lift. Exhaling, legs never come apart. Feel free to blocks between the shins and the thighs. Inhaling, and then exhale. Think about what's bringing you back to center. It's not just a movement, it's a mindful one. Again, shoulders stay down. We're moving from the true natural waist. No belly breathing, rib cage breathing. Breathe into your side lateral body. Knees into the chest. Lift with the contraction of your deep core. Head drops down, feet to the floor. Step back into your strap for bridge pose. And again, you'll probably have to adjust it if you adjusted it for your feet. Sit bones width. So feet are no wider, especially no wider than your outer hip, or you're not going to get that front line of your body opening. Firmly plant the feet. Do not tuck your heels to your sit bones. Firmly planting the feet, neutral pelvis, pelvic floor engages. Lift yourself up as you press out on your strap. Firmly roll your shoulders under. You may need also the tail of the strap to hold on to if your shoulders are a little bit tighter, so you have something to engage on. And again, do not pull your knuckles towards your heels. Breathe wide into your lungs. Keep your tailbone tipping to the space behind the knees. Again, pelvic floor engages. Nice long lower back. Big toes anchor. Breath fully opens itself. If you have a larger chest, you may also need to strap your chest. Heels lift, shoulders unwind, roll it down. Nice job, removing the strap. And just lift the leg, roll the ankle. Lift the opposite, roll the ankle. Feet down, bottoms of the feet together, Baddha Konasana, bound angle. Allow the lower back to arch now. Take a few breaths here. If it's too much tension, prop the legs with blocks, which I am going to do myself. Draw your arms overhead like a big letter Y. Soften your shoulders, and we'll take a few minutes here. fully surrender yourself. Only good thoughts. Dragging your hands down by pulling your elbows to your ribs. Use your hands to draw the legs together. Moving your blocks, just take a moment and just drop your legs side to side. Moving your feet to one side and your knees to the opposite side. And then draw yourself over, use your top hand for help. Roll yourself up. Great practice today. I want to thank you so much for sharing my practice with me and sharing my words and my approach to yoga and to fitness. For more information, visit my website at hopecorefitness.com. I have a regular blog that I'm sharing inspirational thoughts as well as anatomical and yogi tips for a better body and a better practice. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you thought about this video and what you think about some of my other words of advice. From my heart to yours, from my soul to yours, until we practice again. Namaste.